guys, this is Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your daily horoscope and energy reading for August 8th, which is Saturday. So today is going to be a extremely power-packed day. I talked about this on my monthlies, and so on my monthlies, go take a look at it and see which houses these affect for you, this day affects for you, and then you'll know how this particular day will impact you, because I believe this is a day it's a pivotal day in your life. It's going to be one of those defining moments where you are at a crossroads and you either turn right or left, but you can't go straight anymore. And that's the way I completely feel that today is going to be for the majority of you. I want to start off with an energy that jumps out at me. And we're going to be experiencing this. We've been experiencing this off and on this week. Your Leo sun is going to be quincunxing Pluto and Capricorn. I think all of us want to make these core-based decisions that change our life. Look, okay, if we won $1 billion, right, and money wasn't a factor, what would you do with your life, right? I would actually continue doing my channel. I would get all the latest camera equipment, I would hire a team, and I would make this channel my life path destiny. So I'm on my road, right? But for some of you who are in corporate America, you think that you can't make it if you live authentically. But what you don't understand is if you live authentically, and look, I have a full-time job and I'm living authentically. It is very difficult, very time-consuming, and I'm not going to lie, sometimes I feel like, what the hell am I doing it for? But I want you guys to understand that there is a empowering feeling from doing something that plugs you in, that makes you who you are. Look, I was made to make these videos. I was made to talk to you. I have been obsessed with psychology for years. I have Saturn in my 12th house. I have a Venus in Virgo. I have Uranus and Pluto in my 5th house. There is nothing about my natal chart that didn't say at some point in my life I needed to heal others. I needed to see the darkness. I need psychologically. Oh, sorry, I thought it was a spider. I was like, fuck off, spider. Whew. You don't even understand my arachnophobia. That was a Uranian moment, guys. That totally was Uranus and Aries moment. It was like my personal power, my will to survive, and the spider. Okay. I'm gonna let go of that moment and stop getting flushed for a minute. Today we are talking about your core, your desire, your confidence, your being able to be resilient, your authentic purpose in life, right? Quincunxing Pluto and Capricorn. So I want to say that some of you want this lifestyle of like, I want to make a difference, I want to make a change, I want to live authentic. You know, I've got this something in my head that tells me that, you know, I deserve to be this way, that I have a significant calling that would truly make others stand up. And if you're a healer, if you're an energy healer, if you are a light worker, a tarot card reader, if you're a psychologist, if you're a doctor, there's something in you that you just feel like were authentically put on this earth for, but you don't have the internal confidence. You feel that you may be too weak to do it. You've got a lot on your plate right now. A lot was thrown at you, and you're feeling a little bit vulnerable and a little bit overwhelmed, and fear is setting in, and you are dealing with some demons. I want you to understand there is going to be an unexpected power within you to overcome them. This is an empowering day. In fact, this is an empowering week. It's an empowering week by facing your fears. It's an empowering week by showing you where you lose your power or making you responsible for the difficult things that you've done in your past, or the relationships that you lost that you truly valued, but that you don't feel like you were ever worthy to have, and so you sabotaged them by poor coping methods. These were all teachers, wonderful and glorious teachers. It's easy to walk on the ground that's just one level, right? It doesn't require us to be at a physical level to be able to maybe walk up that hill or to climb that cliff or to overcome that tree that's in our path, right? And just walk over it to get to the other side of the path. Like, for the most part, all of us just want to walk on this level ground. But I can tell you at the age of 45, as old as the hills that I am, life is never about staying on that one level ground for too long. Life, if it's one thing that you guys ever pull out of anything that I ever say, is that actually life has nothing to do with the level ground. It has to do with overcoming. It has to do with getting your physical and mental well-being strong enough to overcome things. The older you get, the more you have to overcome. The more you experience loss, the more you experience, the more that you have the maturity and the mental capacity to see bad things. So if you guys are at a level, say you're in your 40s and you're at a point in your life where it seems like all you see is toxic and all you see are bad things, and so you are hiding yourselves away, that energy isn't going to be supportive. You are giving into Pluto fear, right? And a lot of you are finding that even in the typical coping methods that you do to hide away from fear-based issues, like, for instance, for me, when I get upset, I like to stay home and I seclude myself in, and I be a little crab and crawl into my crab shell. But that's when, you know, I have to get out there and work to support my crab shell, right? And it's through getting out there and having to do the day-to-day routines, the day-to-day tasks, that I inevitably am forced to face some of these reality checks, whether I want to or not. So, although some of you may be trying to escape, you're not able to, because day-to-day routine is showing you the lessons anyway. Doesn't matter how much you try to hide, you're still going to be forced to see them. I want to talk about something that really jumped to me, and I'm not sure why. Certain energies just jump off this page, and we have a lot of energy. So, I like I said, these next few days are swirling, whirling, kind of tornado, kind of hurricane energy. The storm is you're in the middle of the storm that's brewing. I don't think that these storms are like terrible storms like Hurricane Katrina. I think they're like maybe like a category 1 hurricane instead of a category 5. So you'll be fine. You'll have some property damage minimally, and you probably have to do some cleaning up in your life from it, but it's not going to be catastrophic at this point. But today is a spicy day. So we have our moon in Gemini. Gemini energy is a mutable energy. It is a very childlike energy. It is a very if one of the twins doesn't like the energy, it easily shifts to another one. It's a very shifty type energy. So it's very, very hard to contain anything that you emotionally go through today, because you will find that your moods shift. And if you've ever known a Gemini, Geminis can either be the best time you've ever had or the moodiest time you've ever had, because they're just so all over the place. And so containing your emotions is going to be next to impossible today. But it's squaring off with nothing but mutable energy today. So today is going to be one of those days where we're not going to be able to predict what we're going to be going through. We're going to start the morning out a certain way, and we're going to end the day a certain way. We're going to be like, what the hell just happened? It's going to be that kind of day. So the moon in Gemini is going to be squaring off with Mercury in Virgo. So this is how you think. This is how you think about things on a day-to-day routine level. This is definitely a day where you're going to get lost in thinking. Your thoughts are either going to empower you or they are going to pull you the hell down, and they are going to emotionally knife you if you're not careful. But it's also squaring off with Neptune and Pisces. So to me, I am saying that something in today is going to be a reality check. It will make you regress into your mind and in your analytical thinking, and it will make you want to make sense out of what just happened. You're going to want to know why it happened. You're going to want to know what was the purpose of what happened that day. And it's not going to make a whole lot of sense, because I think that some of you are still caught in some form of delusion about something in your life. And mutable energy is difficult. Yes, you adapt to whatever you're going through, but if you're so adaptable, how do you know who the hell you are? Which is why I think the sun in Leo is going to be quincunxing Pluto. Look, it's time to define who you are. Set firm boundaries. It's like popping a tent and putting the stakes in the ground and hammering the stakes in the ground. And that really makes sure that tent doesn't blow away, right? But if you didn't put the stakes in the ground because you just forgot your stakes, it could blow away when you came back to your campsite. That's the type of, you're either going to be a person that has strong boundaries, that lives in in their personal power and is moving forward, or you're going to be coming back and your tent's blown away and you don't even know what happened because you were just so mutable that you just forgot everything because you got sparkled by this new thing and that, and you forgot some primary things today. I also want to talk about something that I feel is deeply personal, but it's also something that it jumps to me. Many of you may be wallowing in misery. Your mind is getting the best of you. It is running away from you, and you can't control where it's going. And it's very difficult for you to constantly have, all of this stuff that you're thinking about coming up and, really impacting you. And so I feel that some of you, when you're starting to wallow in this misery and these reality checks that you have been given the last few weeks, some people have went through a lot. I think the first thing you're going to want to do is escape. You're going to want to run away from it, and you're going to want to fall into the poor coping methods, and you're going to self-medicate. You're going to find very poor ways to self-medicate yourself, to try to hide from all of these energies that are beating at you and asking you to be accountable, and they're really relentless. They're really asking you to be 100% accountable for everything that you do. And that is, sweeties, that is difficult. I'm a runner when life gets too rough. So I'm not sitting up here preaching something that I don't fully understand. I do. I hate conflict and I don't like dealing with bad things. So I like to avoid it. If I possibly can, I will avoid it. But today is not going to be one of those days that you're going to be avoiding it. Because Saturn and Scorpio, it's going to be squaring off with Jupiter and Leo, Venus and Leo, and Virgo, Mercury and Virgo. So again, even though Saturn is direct, we're talking about tying up all of this stuff, taking everything that's been happening since 2012 and 2014, and it's coming back full circle, and then you're having to process all of that. You have to pull from it what you need to pull from it. You have to be accountable to it. You have to make amends, some of you, and you have to alter your lifestyle. That is a lot to put on your plate all at the same time. What if you're that Ethiopian that's been starving in the desert forever, and then you come to America and we give you a big plate of spaghetti, and we say, and that's just like more food than they've ever seen in a week, and so they eat it and they power it down, and then guess what? Their body has a physical rejection of it, and you get sick terribly, terribly, terribly sick from all of that rich food that your body isn't even used to having the minimal basics, let alone that kind of food. This is the way I feel today the 8th is going to be. I feel it's just, ugh. And most of this stuff is mental. I'm seeing all of this stuff as 12th house work, deep, dark 12th house work where fear is lying in your unconscious realms. And it has to do with past relationships, the partnerships that you've had in your life, the partnerships that you've lost in your life. Why did you lose those partners? And mind you, Saturn's not about pointing fingers at other people. This is direct, baby. It is pointing fingers at you. Not other people. They didn't do nothing to you. You did it to yourself. So that's difficult. But I want to talk about, okay, so we have energies that are making us accountable, that are kicking our ass right now. And we need energies. We need as negative energy and we need positive energy because we need to always be here. We can't be here and we can't be here ever. We need to be here. So if we're getting energies that are kicking our ass, know that the universe has positive energy to balance out negative energy. So let me go extensively into the positive energy so we're not overwhelmed by all this negativity. So the Sun in Leo, your confidence, your inner strength, your inner roar to get through what you got to do. It's the ability to pick yourself up. It's determination. It's resilience, right? It's going to be sextiling the moon in Gemini. So we've got two childlike energies, Leo and Gemini energies. Very, very enthusiastic childlike energies, very opportunistic energies, very optimistic energies. Because remember when you were a child, you fell down, you got a boo-boo, you cried, somebody kissed it, made it better, and you got back on the bike and you did it again. Because you know what? You're stupid enough. That's the kind of energy that you have balancing out all this. Yes, we made these mistakes. Yes, we did it again. Yes, we screwed up our lives. But you know what? We're not down for the count. We're not defined by our weaknesses. We're defined by our strengths. And we know that by now. We know that if we define ourselves by our weakness, we will tank. We might as well just die on the planet. We will submit. But if we define ourselves by our strengths, then we overcome our weaknesses. So we've got this air energy and this fire energy and this Gemini moon in our emotions. This air is in our emotions, right? And it's making us want to just break away from this. Just get away. Just break free from these stupid confining patterns that are ball and chaining us down. We don't need to succumb to these energies, right? And we've got the Leo confidence and the Leo fire and the Leo heart. When there is enough air to feed a fire burns brightly, right? That's what we're at the campfire and, we're trying to, get our fire to start. And, we're blowing on the little bit of fire that we're trying to create to get it to have enough air to stimulate enough oxygen to stimulate this fire to start, right? That's what you're doing today. We're blowing on our self-confidence. We're blowing on our resilient behavior. We're blowing on our need to persevere. We're blowing on our ability to overcome. Okay? And through that, we're going to ignite a fire that makes us deserving and makes us value ourselves and makes us persevere. Another beautiful energy that we have is Neptune and Pisces. It's going to be sextiling Pluto and Capricorn. For the ones that don't escape today and don't choose poor coping methods and numb their pain through destructive methods, and you're blowing on your fire and you're trying to persevere and you're trying to get through one more day of persevering, right? You have Neptune and Pisces giving you enough power in your mind, in your unconscious realms, to fester you see an outcome being good. Right? Even if nobody else does, you see the ending being beautiful. You see hope. Once you lose hope, we all know that you just might as well die. You do die. Once you lose hope. People overcome insurmountable odds if they don't lose hope. If they lose hope, they succumb. They do. And so we're not talking about getting lost in our fear. We're talking about rebirth in this energy. So let's look at it this way. You see a new future in mind, and it's beautiful and it's brilliant. And you've got the Leo sun and the moon, and there's enough power in today to regenerate a new start in whatever it is. And I can tell you that there's supportive energy if you are the person that is into not hiding, not self-medicating, not numbing all of this stuff away, then Saturn's going to be on board. Your south node, your predisposed wiring. So we're not going to have to worry about ascending today. We're just going to talk about what we came into the world with, making us strong and empowering us, because sometimes when we're working on ascending, it is very difficult to feel the power in that, because we're also facing a lot of really negative things when we ascend. But in today, if we're looking at using our old wiring, then we can start to become making some of these emotional based decisions that are passionate, that are powerful, that are empowering. And you don't have to hide anymore. Stop hiding. There's a lot of beautiful things all around you. We've all made mistakes. We have. Nobody's perfect. And that's why I love the unlovable, because no matter how many times they hurt me, I will always love them, because I didn't fall in love with them because they didn't have something special. They had something special. And yes, they fell, and they fell hard, and I'm so sorry that they did. And maybe they don't get to be in my life because their falling makes me fall too. You know, and that's very sad for me to say, but that's very true. But I'm never going to, once I love somebody, I love them for the rest of my life. And so I don't have regrets. I've made poor choices, and you know what? I'm not proud of all of them. But, and I'll make more poor choices. And there are lots that I won't be proud of. And there are lots that will humble me. And I'm 45. I'm going to go through more life lessons every day. And I'm going to have weaknesses, but I'm going to have days of strength. So I want you guys to really feel these days. This day, beautiful, beautiful day, the 8th. When Mars goes into Leo, guys, today, passion is going to go back into your heart. It's going to go back into your soul. It's going to go back into pleasure. It's going to go back into inner confidence and resiliency and the ability to overcome insurmountable odds. Mars is going to go out of your emotions and into fire-based energy that is all about, that's an action-oriented energy. It's action. Okay? It's not pouring water over power anymore and making you feel all these deep emotions that suck you down anymore. It's about blowing air and adding oxygen to a fire to make you burn bright and to make that fire take off. I want to thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.